What's up, everybody? Chat is lit. There's a lot of love for Joe in the chat. You don't have to give him that much love, guys. Okay? That's
He's in the chat.
I know.
He's in the chat hanging out with
He's
you guys.
campaigning.
Oh,
You understand?
I'll pick myself up.
Yeah, give yourself
Can they hear him?
all the. No.
Just
Oh,
me?
maybe. I don't know. Can you guys hear Joe in the chat?
Well, anyway, what I was saying is you don't have to say so many nice things about Joe. This is my show, okay? Only compliment me. All right. All right, let's go.
Now they hear us.
Heyo. It's
up,
another
everybody?
Thursday night party.
Oh, nobody can see me.
Oh, why'd you do it? You broke?
Whoa.
Oh, because you're the automatic on. Are you back on?
One camera of ours only. Hey!
Welcome everyone. It's another Thursday night, and that means another awesome episode of Attack is live with me, your good buddy, Uncle Petey. I'm gonna sign. Yeah, I'm gonna sign my artwork from now on as Uncle Petey.
You have to do a special variant.
Okay.
That just like
One of them.
one in 150 prints
Yeah.
signed by Uncle
Uncle
Petey.
Petey. We have an awesome show. Gabby's here. Check that out. Look at all that streamer lighting going on.
That's it. We're working on it.
Yeah. A streamer microphone, legitimate. Streamer lighting. Streamer props.
Put it right up into my face.
Yep.
Like a true streamer does,
You
right?
look great. You look perfect.
I feel like do I look puffy? Do I look good?
Gabby's nervous because she got her COVID vaccine today, and now she thinks
That I'm
everything's
dying?
happening. Yeah.
Uh,
She's gonna turn it.
Hold on, I gotta turn the music down. It's too loud.
We're too lit.
We're too litty. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, don't kill it completely.
I didn't. They hear it much louder than we do.
Give it like 1% boost. I hear nothing, B. It's killing my
That's
vibe.
the whole point.
No, I have to have a little bit more vibe.
Is that better?
That's a little bit better.
That's all you get.
I don't love it. All right. Music too loud, though. They're right. They're right. Okay.
I'm telling you.
All right, everyone. So really awesome show. Gabby got her COVID vaccine today, so she might turn into a David Cronenberg monster at any moment, live on the stream.
I'm positive I'm gonna turn into like a spaghetti monster any second now.
Terrible.
I can't really lift my arm, the one that they vaccinated, because that's like the one
It's rotting off.
side effect. It's rotting off.
Yeah, terrible for my love life. Awesome for viewership. We're gonna go viral. Awesome show. DOPEPOPE is here. And if you don't know DOPEPOPE and his artwork, it's incredible. You've probably seen it. It goes viral all the time. People think it's concept art for the next Godzilla movie. And being that we're on the eve of a new Godzilla movie coming out, Godzilla vs. Kong, I thought this is the perfect time to have him on because he knows his shit and his designs are of that caliber. So the other thing is eventually he is going to get hired to work on these films. And I need to start making my friendships very solid now. You understand? This is like it's like NFT right now, which we're going to talk about later. This is
What's
like
your ultimate goal by milking these friendships? Is to
I just
show up
I don't
on
know.
the set
No,
or something?
there's
Like,
no
what
goal.
do you want to do?
There's no actual concrete goal. It's just like, you know, what's the point of working really hard and building a brand around your artwork if you can't have a cool like
if you can't
contact
exploit
list?
your contacts
I just-
for
no,
personal gain.
No, I just want to be able to be at a convention and go, guess whose number I got, and then never call it. You know what I mean? But it just looks cool. I swipe like, look at this, guys.
Yeah.
That's the empty hole I have in my soul right now. That's how I fill it with like shallow contact stuff like that. It's very sad. Gabby's arm's gonna fall off. All right. Anyway, so yeah, Joe's here. It's gonna be awesome talking to him and seeing his work. He just dropped a bunch of new figures. I mean, I'm just trying to drop one figure. Joe just dropped a litter of figures over at Mondo. We're talking about
litter?
that. Yeah, it's literally like 6 figures. So we're gonna talk about it, and they're incredible, and you know, they're drool worthy. Other than that, we have some things I want to talk about right off the top here. Okay. You guys know we had a couple of streams talking about it on Expo and on our last week's stream, Daruma and Chill. Give me the art cam, my love. Tell me when.
Yeah, we're good.
Right.
We're good.
The Daruma here is the prototype. You guys have already seen this, I'm sure, all over Instagram if you're following me there on socials.
Put it
But if
closer
you
to
haven't-
the camera. That way they can
Look
see
at
it
that.
in all its glory.
If you
There
haven't,
go.
this is the prototype. This is like a resin prototype of the final figure, which is going to be a vinyl figure with a resin base. The base is not here. So it's just a prototype for me to approve of everything. It looks so freaking good, you guys. Not even just saying that because I made it, but because I always fear something's going to go wrong. Whenever things are going really well, I'm always waiting for the bottom to drop out. And this time, so far, it hasn't. There's still a chance that when these ship, they could be hollowed out and filled with illegal substances, and then I'll be tied to something really incriminating. But as of right now, pretty excited about this. So if you want to grab one, the pre-orders are still available on the Skybound shop, which I'm sure links will drop in at some point in the chat. But if not, just head over to store.skybound.com and it should be plaster all over there. Just search Daruma
show
or
them
Attack
if
Peter.
you'd
Oh
like.
yeah, you have it pulled up there.
I do have it up. Hold on 1 second. There we go. So it's right here.
Looks good.
Yep. It's the first thing that you're going to see if you go to the Skybound store.
And you know, on the shop we have tons of stuff. People have, people really love the Daruma merch. It keeps selling like crazy. So check out all the merch we got there. We dropped some Year of the Ox merch when we did the mystery print sale a few weeks back. There's tons of great stuff there. Hats and sweaters and shirts and hoodies. And, you know, not everybody can, cover their walls in prints. Not everybody's going to be looking for a big, giant Daruma for their mantle. But if you're interested in the design, if you're interested in the artwork, there's tons of stuff you can get there and just celebrate the aesthetic. In other news, you guys know that Sideshow's carrying my Marvel prints right now, so you can get the Black... I think the Black Panther is almost sold out if it's not already sold out. The Iron Man print is available, and I think either today... It might be today, I'm not sure, I didn't check, but the Spider-Man print is up for pre-orders.
I should have pulled it up.
No, you can go back to ArtCam. I brought a prop.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I mean, you can bring it up while you art cam me. Give me art cam.
Mhm. You're already there.
Is this a mess what I'm doing right now? Oh my God. Can anybody see?
No,
This
you're
is
good. Just like that.
This
Keep
is,
it just like
this
that.
is the carving, the linoleum carving. I've done a few prints on it already as tests and samples. And if you don't know, I carved these about a year ago, maybe no more than a year ago at this
More than a
point.
year
Yeah,
ago.
like almost 2 years ago, I carved these, and they were just supposed to be prints that were going to be made into designs for T-shirts for Marvel officially, and they're available on Amazon. You can pick up if you just Google they didn't put my name on the shirts because I guess it wasn't part of the deal back then. No one knew who I was. But if you put Spider-Man lino cut shirt or Black Panther lino cut shirt, something like that, you'll see them come up.
So it's on Sideshow?
The prints are on Sideshow.
They're sold out.
Of what?
What, are you talking about Spider-Man? What's available right now?
Black Panther and Iron Man.
Ah, okay. I was looking at Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's-
I was like, there's no way
There's
they
an
brought
ori-
that back.
Right. There's a different Spider-Man we're launching. So I sold out a Spider-Man print sold out a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, this is a new one that's either dropping today or next week or something like that. So it's coming very soon. But yeah, man. So the prints are there. They're not. We're not going to be doing a Wolverine one. I mentioned that the Wolverine linoleum got botched up, so we're only going to be doing Black Panther, Iron Man, and Spider-Man. But they're up. For some reason, these are not. No, for some reason, people ask me about these for a long time, and I expect that once they sell out, it's going to be the thing where people are like the Ninja Turtle prints that they didn't sell out overnight, and that everybody's like, bro, please print me one more. Don't tell anybody. You can just send it to me directly. I'll pay you extra.
How about
I'm like, bro, they sat on the store for like a week. It wasn't a crazy Mondo drop or anything. All
I
right.
don't see it on Sideshow.
The
Maybe
Spider-Man?
It's
It's
the
not up yet.
Spider-Man I see, but the Black
original
Panther
Spider-Man.
and
You gotta type in Black Panther, Peter Santamir. You can't put Attack Peter.
oh.
Yeah, they don't respect my brand name. They just like to call me
Did
by
they
my birth
respect the
name.
hyphen in your name?
Maybe.
Nope.
It's
Oh,
okay.
yep.
Okay.
It's here. Hold on, I can show them.
Okay, cool. Meanwhile,
Look at it. Hey.
Hey.
They're up for pre-order right
yeah,
now.
I'm making them right now. That's why they're
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so right off the top, before we bring Joe on, and Joe, get ready because I'm going to put you on the spot about Kaiju ranking. And AJ Russo's in the chat, and he's going to judge you about what your answers are. Just letting you know right now. Okay, so right off the bat, this is strange because today I spent some time walking my dog in the morning, and I got the song stuck in my head of Cry Little Sister from The Lost Boys. If you don't know that song, it's an amazing song that I used to cringe at, and now I'm in love with the dang song. It's like plays all throughout The Lost Boys. I think the Lost Boys movie is becoming one of my favorite all-time movies, which is not that controversial. It's a great movie. Everybody loves it.
Well, I'm showing them all the Lost Boys
Yeah,
pictures
but
so they can see, in case
it's
they
crazy.
forgot what
I've
that looks like.
I've never it's a great movie. I don't think anybody would deny it. But I never thought it would be like one of my favorite all-time movies. But when I'm watching it today, I'm like, this movie's perfect. And not only that, I think if I could have chosen a childhood for myself, and I wonder, Joe,
You would have chosen the Lost Boys
No, no, no,
childhood
no,
with
no.
the
I'm gonna ask-
vampires and the.
if you watch the movie, there's a lot of like fun going on a boardwalk and the carnival, and there's a comic store on the boardwalk, and then there's
Are
like
you
the
saying you just wanted to be a teenager in the 80s?
Yeah, I think so. A little older and hanging out in those times. Look at that. That's so good. And I don't know. It's one of those things I'm just learning. If you guys have had any movies that suddenly became your favorite movie out of nowhere, yes, the sax player. That's why Jeremy Wolford.
The sax player.
Yeah, he's the one who's like doing "Cry, Little Sister."
Oh boy.
But they're doing like and he's like gyrating. It's like a Mad Max meets Michael Bolton moment. It's so weird. But it's such a good movie already. But when I watch it today, I'm like, I don't appreciate this movie enough. It's just that
Or
good.
the comic book store.
That's what I'm saying. It's like everything about it. It's perfect. It's like a really well shot movie. It's great. Anyway, shout out to everybody here in the chat. I see you guys: Gordon Flynn, Jeremy Wolford, Ryan Shoemate, Christopher Alacong, Chris Sear, Odd Creations, John Price. What is up, Greg B?
Hi everybody.
Everybody hanging. Thank you guys for coming. This is gonna be a fun one. Okay, they're saying please turn off the music. Dango. What if we're
Who
feeling
said
hyped?
that?
I don't know.
When?
I don't know how long
No,
ago.
that was a long time ago.
Anyway, so let's I think we covered everything, right? Talked about the it's here.
I know. I just
Talked
have to get
about
up
the
again.
show that picture of Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh, you got it. Hold on.
Minor spoiler, Godzilla's going to fight Kong in this next movie, okay?
Minor
Someone
spoiler.
sent
No one
me-
knows.
Someone sent me this picture online. I forgot. I think it was on the Kaiju Live Discord. I found it today. But I want to show you guys this picture. Holy shit, if you're not already hyped. Okay? I'll tell you why this is an important picture. You showing it now?
Yeah.
Doesn't this picture... I thought this was fake. I thought this was a fake picture, like a Photoshop.
It does. I thought it was too.
Because it looks like two suit... turn our cameras off for 1 second, both of ours.
Both of our
for a second,
cameras?
yeah.
Okay, hold on.
It looks like two suit actors in a 1993 Godzilla movie. It's crazy. It looks like a fake
It
prop
does.
set. It looks like two people in suits. It doesn't look like CG. It looks like it's really there. And I'm so hyped because I'm like, these guys are going to try some crazy shit in this movie, and I cannot freaking wait to see it. I cannot freaking wait. We're going to talk to Joe as well and ask if he's Team Kong or Team Godzilla. Okay.
And the friendship will depend on how he answers that.
Well, I know he's going to answer.
You know the
correctly.
answer.
I know the answer for me, and I'm going to answer, and then I'm going to ask him. And I know he's going to get the right answer. All right. So on that note, let's bring in Senor DOPEPOPE. The audience is probably going to go nuts when
Yeah,
we bring him in.
of course they are.
All right, let's go.
Wait. Aw.
Your volume's down. There they are, Joe.
Hey.
Wait, do it again.
It's still going.
Joe, wow. What a reception, dude. I love it, man. Welcome. All right. So, dude, thank you so much for joining us. This is awesome. This is so much fun. You know, I remember when we became friends on Instagram, and I was like, holy shit, the guy who does all these kick-ass kaiju designs follow me back. That's amazing. Such a big fan of your work. And I feel like you're in a league of your own. And honestly, like I was joking before, but I really think that you're just scratching the surface, dude. Like you've already like accomplished some of the dreams that like we all have for our entire art career. And I feel like maybe you'll agree or disagree. Like you're just warming up, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I like to look at it that way.
Yeah.
There's so much I still want to do, but there's so much I've accomplished so far that just makes me proud.
Yeah.
So it's pretty great.
What's the best thing you've done so far in your opinion? Like what is the moment where you're like, because like I'm feeling like with releasing this figure, like I'm good. Like whatever happens next is icing. Like what's your favorite moment that you've had so far?
It's really hard to say because each one at the time it happens seems like that's the one.
Yeah.
But then something better, well, not something better, but something after that'll happen. You're like, wow, this is it.
Which
And
one
then something
surprised you
after
the
that-
most?
The one thing that really blew my mind, I can't even talk about.
Oh.
I can't talk about that, but that's up there for sure.
It's just us. No one's listening.
Yeah, there's nobody else in the chat.
Believe me, I really am dying to talk about it, but I just can't. But then, just about any toy gig that I got, like when James Groman reached out, that blew my mind.
We have those images there. If you want to pull them up, my love, they're in that. I think there's a folder on my desktop that says "Dope Pope" screen pics. It's the Colossal Freaks, War of the Colossal Freaks, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
that. You know what's funny, Joe? I told him last time we were at DCon, I'm like, "That's your best one," and he's like, "I didn't even sculpt that one. That was Dope Pope." I'm like, "Well."
Well, I don't know how I'm gonna show this.
Well,
though, 'cause
I tried to mimic his designs. He gave
just
me
Google it.
beautiful artwork. So
Yeah.
I tried to make that as best as I could.
Yeah,
I
he's.
think he did
Go
a
ahead.
good job, though.
You killed it, and it is. I don't know how you feel, but like when I met him, well, I knew of his, King Corpse and some of his Rotten Rex, and I knew that he had worked on Mad Balls, and I didn't realize how much of the rest of my childhood toys were worked on by him. And when you start to see his lineage and
I'm gonna put it
his
up now so you guys
Perfect.
can see it. at the
Okay.
same time.
and when you see like all the stuff he's worked on, it's crazy that we get to just be friends with him and talk to him because it's so influential, right? Did you grow up with the same stuff?
I did grow up with the same
Yeah.
stuff, and just like you, I had no idea he was attached to any
Yeah.
of that stuff. So when I found out about that, it's just mind blowing. But at the time when he did reach out, I was aware of him. I just didn't know how far back he went in the industry and what he was responsible for. But all I knew was what he was currently doing and what he was currently posting, which was also already blowing my mind. So it was just a beautiful thing.
I love that guy, and he's one of the nicest people you can meet. And I don't know about you, but when I feel like I've been trying to crack into this industry. What year are we on now? Since 2002, I audaciously went to Comic-Con, showing a garbage portfolio around and just trying to ask questions because the internet wasn't that useful back then, and just trying to get people to answer random questions like, what do you sculpt with? I wanted to be a sculptor, by the way. Like, I was obsessed with the Four Horsemen. I had bought, tons of oil-based clay and Castelline, and I wanted to do action figure as sculpture. That's all I wanted to do. And it's just like, just trying to get an answer to which clay should I be working in for a portfolio. It took months to figure out. It was crazy. And because people were really protective of the information. One guy who I still know to this day, I'll never reveal the name, told me I told him, dude, you got a rotocast vinyl figure made on your own. How did you do it? And he said, I can't tell you that. I'm like, what do you mean you can't tell me? Like, if I tell you, then you're gonna probably get one made, and if enough people do that, it's gonna raise the price to get this made, and then the market's gonna be flooded with low quality work. And I'm sure this person doesn't even remember, but the point is, like, that's the kind of stuff I was met with, as a young artist. And when I met James, I'm like, dude, he's the opposite. He's sitting at the top in terms of the influence. He's influenced all of us, and he's the most generous, kind-hearted person you can meet, right?
I would agree with that wholeheartedly. Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
And just his work alone if that doesn't get you going to want to create or just like strive for better in your own work, I don't know what would.
Yeah, man.
A sculptor and a monster creator. I mean, that's like the pinnacle.
Absolutely. Speaking of great sculptors, I see Chris Reiniak in the chat, man. What's up, dude? He's a great designer and creator. We got to bring him on the show soon, too.
What's up, Chris?
So, Joe, right before we talk about anything else, let's go where the hype is. Let's go to the Mondo website, because I think everybody has to see this. Let's go to the Mondo. I'm sure everybody, who knows your work and follows you closely knows about this. But I remember, let's just show the figures. And okay, so these figures just launched, and I think all four of the Sofubi ones sold out already. Am I right about that? I think they are, if not about to, in 4 different colorways. They're beautiful. I mean, first of all, I expected you to kill the sculpt, so that's awesome. Congratulations. But shout out to Mondo for, dude, going hard in the Kaiju vinyl space, dude. Like, this is X plus level. Am I right?
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, everything from the paints to the packaging and everything, it looks and feels very X plus. This toy, the large one in particular, could stand up against any of the X Plus, I believe.
I've seen the close-up pictures, and I totally agree.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
I love it. It's outstanding. Can you click on one of them? I loved it. I think there's some zoom on. Okay, I'm in back behind. And so anyway, so yeah, these are outstanding. And Pulgasari. So how did that come up? Because I remember hearing about Pulgasari for the first time through watching Vice. When yeah, there it is. Look at that. When Vice went to North Korea. I think it was Vice visiting North Korea or something like that, and they were just talking about the North Korean culture, and then Pulgasari came up, and it blew my mind. Like, you want to talk a little bit about what your experience, like researching and the knowledge that you've gained on Pulgasari?
Sure. I mean, I was aware of the monster design for a while before they reached out.
Yeah.
I was not aware about the crazy backstory on it, which was that the director or the filmmakers were kidnapped and forced to make this movie. So I don't know if that's even true, but that was that was interesting to find out. In a weird way, I think for something that happened under duress like that, they pulled off a really cool movie in a really cool monster suit. It's still not my favorite giant Korean monster. That would be Yonguri.
Haha.
But this, after sculpting it, after like getting all into it, like its details, this is definitely up there. I really respect and admire this suit design now. I don't know. I feel bad though if the guy who made the suit did it as under duress, how he feels about it. But yeah, I think the design is pretty cool.
It's outstanding because from what I remember hearing about, this is like, I guess, early 2000s. I was watching the Vice channel, and they were talking about how Kim Jong-il, so Kim Jong-un's dad, was basically, a cinephile and remaking movies or taking movies and editing himself into them. So like there's a cut of E.T. with Kim Jong-il in it. There's a cut of Jaws with Kim Jong-il in it. And like if you grow up and you're born in North Korea where everything is isolated from the rest of the world, that's your version of the movie. And so Kim Jong-il's in every movie. So when I heard about this, I'm like, this fits exactly with that, mentality. And yeah, they apparently kidnapped the filmmakers, forced them to make a giant kaiju movie, designed the suit. And like you said, for someone who's kidnapped, I mean, even if you were working willingly, that's a badass design, but being kidnapped, that's crazy, man. So yeah, they reached out to you to design this figure. And how did that go?
It was very cool that they considered me. I was happy to do it. My first concern was that who's going to care? Who's going to want this thing? So like fast forward to right now where people are actually really responding well to it and it's selling out. It was great. It was great to see. I really was concerned that it wasn't going to go over too well.
Well, it appeals to so many people, right? So like if you're a kaiju fan, for sure you would want it because especially if you're a completionist, like I don't think there has ever been a figure before, right? That's it.
There have been. When I did my research for it, I found quite a few figures. Some of them are just strange looking.
Okay.
I don't see any two figures out there that actually look alike.
Okay.
So there's even shots from the movie. There seems to be different builds of the suit for different shots and different takes. So it was really hard to pinpoint what was the definitive look for him. But I think this gets as close as possible.
Yeah.
But there are a couple of toys out there. One of them was really cool, but it was red and strange, and I don't know how easy it would be to obtain that, or if it's even out anymore. But this is definitely the one to have.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's like so if you're a fan of kaiju movies, it's for you, right? And then if you're a Mondo fan who's just like into deep cuts and odd things and I guess like figures and prints that highlight films that maybe don't get the love normally or like odd takes on them. I feel like it just appeals to so many people in that regard. I can see somebody having a Pulgasari figure and no other vinyl kaiju figures. You know what I mean?
If they like, odds and ends and strange things with weird backstories, this is perfect for that, sure.
So, dude, I was listening to your talk with Kyle Yount, shout out Collect All Monsters, and you were talking about your background of, you're doing illustration, you're doing digital art, you're not feeling it so much, and you started to realize that your brain is thinking in 3D. So we'll pull up, while we talk about this, we'll pull up your ArtStation site. So if people want to check out your work, of course they can follow you everywhere online, DOPEPOPE, Instagram and are you on Facebook? I couldn't find you on Facebook.
No, it's the only place I'm not there.
You better get on there, bro.
I never cared for Facebook. I got off in 2008, I think.
No, I'm gonna create a fake account so that you have to create a real one. All right, so yeah, your portfolio is beautiful on ArtStation. So artstation.com/dopepope. I think we put a link to some of your stuff in the description below. But this portfolio looks like, it looks like a concept art book for a film studio, for Sideshow, for, you know what I mean? Like, you're known for your kaiju stuff. So right off the bat, let's go to the first one because that one's pretty new and hot. That Godzilla Singular Point design that you did. I thought that was great, man, because that anime hasn't even come out yet. It's been, the trailers have come up, and it's definitely an unusual and new Godzilla design. But you whipped that thing up fast, dude, and it looks great.
Yeah, thank you. They dropped concept art of it, and you just get fixated on it. Like if you're like me, you just start staring at it and you start wondering, what would that look like? How would that feel to sculpt? What does that look like from the side? Yeah. And that's all it takes. And I have to jump into Zbrush and start working on it.
Absolutely.
And that's how I was when I was an illustrator. I would draw something, and as I'm drawing it, I want to start drawing from a different angle. So then I would never finish anything. I would have a bunch of half-drawn scribbles. And now that's why I love 3D, because you have to attack all those angles at the same time, and it alleviates the craziness in my head, so I can do it.
And for those who don't know, you're working with a program called Zbrush. So, Zbrush, for those who don't know, it's a digital sculpting software. And so before, you would have to sculpt everything, in clay. Some people sculpt in epoxy sculpt, which is like a 2-part epoxy. But the point is everybody was working physically, and then best case scenario, using a 3D scanner to get those sculpts into the computer. But you are working digitally, and it's crazy because you see like the level of detail. It looks like a finished product ready for screen, ready for a video game, ready for a movie. And you get to do all that using ZBrush?
Yeah, most of that detail is sculptural. So that's me just hand drawing the scales, and then, just getting into it all. Planning, you got to think ahead a few steps, knowing what's going to go where. And then like a lot of that is just broken down into individual parts, and some of it's not. And it does take a very, very planned out approach. At the same time, you can think on your toes kind of thing, and you just do what you want when you want. That's what I love about ZBrush. Like you can wing it, and then there's like a very structured approach as well.
Yeah.
So I developed my own workflow, and this is where I'm at currently. Like when I first started, I was nowhere near this good. So I love watching my own growth, because I know I still have a long way to go.
And when you started using ZBrush, you had mentioned that you were not doing traditional sculpture before that.
No, not at all. I wasn't doing anything.
So when you shifted from just drawing to ZBrush, for me, whenever I choose a new medium to work on, and we'll just look at different stuff as we're talking here. Like look at that. Let's scroll down a little bit, my love. Oh, because you're already ahead of me. Sorry. Just pick anything up and we'll look at it. That's all fantastic. When you're switching medium, whenever I'm switching, I was a teacher for 13 years, and all I did was switch media every week, every 2 weeks, every month. We were doing something new. And the kids always felt like, oh, I just got good at that. Now I got to go and try and learn something new. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, as an artist, when you're trying to become a professional artist, there was a time when I was doing digital illustration, when I was doing paintings, when I was doing, whatever, printmaking, all that. And to decide to shift from one to the next is pretty crazy, because besides learning new techniques, it's hard to establish yourself in one medium and then to switch media and then get some response for that. How did you think about that? How do you feel about getting, and now you're doing it again with NFT? You're switching the media you're using.
Well, the NFT really has nothing to do with the style of work.
Right.
It's just a new way to present the art, a new way to sell the art. But I hear you on that, because I love that I specialize in ZBrush, and it wouldn't be this good if I didn't. But I do feel like there's so much more I need to learn in terms of animation and other packages that I want to learn for sure. It's only going to embolden what I can create overall. But absolutely, I didn't feel like I was this good when I was illustrating, and thank God for ZBrush. come along, because I don't think I would have grown as much if I was stuck in the illustration world. And I could always go back. I always have it as a foundational ability to sketch out my ideas. But when I know I want to bring it to finish or to a beautiful state, that's when I jump into ZBrush, and I know where I can go from there.
And what is a business model for you? Because so like, okay, so you're a professional working artist. Is this your main gig? Is this the only work that you do as an artist?
Yeah, currently this is I'm a freelancer and
Okay.
surviving on that. So I'm doing odd jobs for all different creative venues. But yeah, I mean, I had a full-time 9 to 5, but I got let go of that in 2010 when the economy was all
What were you
wonky.
doing? What were you doing?
I was a digital photo retoucher for a decade
Okay.
at Q Studios, and I'm still very friendly with those people. Those are my best friends still to this day. Awesome artists as well. So, but after that, I just started freelancing, and it's somehow, some way, I made it work, and now it's a beautiful feeling to be able to survive doing what you love.
Yeah.
And
Man.
I'm grateful for that.
And so how did you, when you started doing it freelance, did you have an idea for the business model in your head? Because I always, whenever I meet an artist or like look up an artist or start studying what they do, I would always wonder, especially before, like, okay, their work's amazing. How are they making money off of it? Or their work's amazing. How do you, let's say you get a great gig, then what? How do you sustain it? You know what I mean? So how did you figure out your flow in terms of like lining up enough gigs that you could live off of this?
To be honest, I don't know if I have figured that out. All I know is that you just you strive to do the best work you can every time, no compromising quality. You just be gracious and that you get work at all, and treat every job, no matter how bad the pay, as the job of your life.
Right.
And just learn to budget your time properly, so you don't wind up compromising quality. It's just a lot of things like that might have already been ingrained in me. So I didn't sit here and try to work that out in my head ahead of time. I do know, like, building up relationships on all these social media platforms was paramount. And without it, I don't know if I'd be able to sustain a freelance career. So that's really important. But as for like a plan of attack, no, I really just kind of eased into this slowly, and it grew and grew and grew, which is great.
And so sitting here now, this was we just went through the craziest year ever. Does that, so do you think ahead, like, okay, I'm doing this now, it's going great. By next year, I kind of want to make sure I'm working in this area. Do you think like that? Because I think like that. I try to say, okay, this is awesome. I'm so grateful that anybody cares. I'm so grateful that anybody, buys my work. The fact that I've ever sold out of something blows my mind. I think like that. I'm always thinking like this is going to end for me soon. You know what I mean? Like, it was so hard to get anybody to pay attention in the first place. I always think that this is fleeting, And so because of that, I'm always trying to figure out, how do I keep it exciting, keep it new, keep it different, keep people feeling rewarded for paying attention in the first place. Those are the thoughts that go through my head. I wish, and I wonder if for you or for other artists, if there's a moment where, or there's a state of mind where you're just like, I'm good, man. I'm happy. This is working, and let's just ride the wave. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, and I think about those things constantly. If I was financially secure, or like where I could just lay back and I know my bills will be paid from now on until the day I die, I would be grateful for everything that I've worked on and everything I've accomplished, even if not one more job comes after tomorrow. But we still have to, we have to do what we have to do to survive.
Yeah.
So yeah, that you have to be on top of it's such a weird divide between like working at your own pace and then trying to keep up with trending topics and what's cool and what's coming out, and you have to juggle that. Like, I don't want to wear myself out just trying to please people tomorrow on Instagram occasionally I'll jump on something right away because that appeals to me, but a lot of things go right by me where I would love to work on them just for fun, but I can't. I
Right.
have other things to do. So it really does the more pro work you get, the less fun stuff you get to do, and you can't really
What's
you
the
can't
difference
balance
in
it as much.
what's the difference in your mind between the two?
Well, it's like minute at this point because what I consider fun is the same exact thing of what's going on in my work world
good.
too. So
Yeah.
if I got a professional gig working on Godzilla, that's fun / work. I mean, you can't beat that.
Right.
But but it's still like they do give you notes and you have to match the notes. And if you don't match the notes, it gets stressful. And there's still a job component to it. Whereas when I'm working for myself, I direct myself, and everything's good enough when I feel it's good enough,
Yeah.
And that's the distinction, and that's what separates professional work from fun work.
You have around you like a bunch of kick-ass toys, and we have that in common. We love, we're fans of the toys, right? And I feel like one of the coolest things about your career so far is you've actually designed not one, two X Plus toys. And for those of you who don't know, I know a lot of you probably do know in the chat, but the X Plus toys are like the only thing I can equate them to is when McFarlane first came out doing action figures, that level of detail that was so far beyond everything else, and then everybody tried to mimic that. That's what I feel about X Plus. They're like the most detailed, accurate, beautifully sculpted and painted versions of, for the most part, Godzilla, Ultraman, Gamera, stuff like that. I love their stuff. You've done 2. Do you have them there handy?
I only have the Orga.
Let's see it. Let's see the Orga. You see it?
If you can see it.
Yeah, man, that thing is so awesome. Orga is such a great design already, and and the detail you were able to get on this sculpt, it's like holding a maquette. That's what I try to say. Like, if you ever see like concept art books of like how the movie was made and all that kind of stuff, the level of quality on these figures is like that. And you were, dude, yours is as good, if not better, than anyone they've put out. It's incredible, man.
Thank you very much.
How did that gig come about?
Awesome to work on, because I loved Orga. Orga is one of the most badass Godzilla foes, so I was thrilled to get the gig for this.
Yeah, man. And when you get a gig like that, are you thinking in your head, I just got to kill this gig and then hopefully they'll hire me back for the next one? Or are you just like focused on it?
Yes, absolutely. The first one I got was Iris, and Iris was so complicated and so just stressful for me to achieve those forms and then please them as a client, like please their notes and nail all of that. And then after that, I guess I did well enough for them to call me back for Orga, and Orga is a lot less complicated in terms of like what's going on with the design, but I wouldn't say it was easy. I mean, it's really hard to nail what's going on there as well. Yeah. Just because it's not covered in different shapes doesn't mean it's not difficult for me. So yeah, I mean that's where I was with that. But I mean, just to get noticed by X Plus.
Is somebody asked in the chat, do you use a Wacom Cintiq or tablet when you're working?
Yeah, I use the Intuos Pro.
Okay.
I'm not using one of those Cintiqs where you see that you draw on what you see. I just never got with that because I guess I get used to my Intuos Pro as a photo retoucher. We never use the Cintiq, okay. So I'm old school that way.
And Kyle asked, did you get to work directly with Acro for Pulgasari? What's Acro?
Oh, I had no idea Acro was even involved, which I thought was pretty cool. Acro's they also make some great toys.
Okay.
I know Paul Komoda has done some really cool Kaiju remixes with them.
Oh, I love those figures. I'm gonna try to get him on the show at some point. We talk.
He's the man.
Yeah.
Hope you do.
Those are the best figures, man. That Bemular is next level.
Yeah. Man.
Dude, so if you could snap your fingers right now and just do one thing, or what would DOPEPOPE, the brand, the business be? If you could just snap your fingers and say, I just do this, or I only want to do this, or people come to you and they're like, Joe, what do you want to do? Like, we want to work with you. What do you want to do?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I still do absolutely want to keep going with the Kaiju toys, and I do creature concept art for video games as well, and some film, some TV. And I would love to keep that going. My ultimate goal in that realm would be to have a concept that gets turned into a monster in a movie, in a major motion picture. And I'm trying to get to that point where I could say, hey, look up at the screen, say I designed that thing, and see my name in the credits. See Dope Pope at the end of a movie would be a dream come true. Absolutely.
How do you get there? Have you like gamed that backwards, like reverse engineered that?
So I mean, I just by posting my work online, any work that I've gotten, pretty much I've been contacted to do. I don't solicit for any work really that I feel that's weird to just reach out and ask for work. I guess it might work for some other people. It's not something I've tried. So anything I've gotten by being out there constantly pushing my work and showcasing it. So
I love it.
I just hope that the right people at some point see it. I'm making steps in the right direction, and eventually I would like to get to a point where I could design a monster for a film. So
you don't tag like Adam Wingard and Michael Dougherty in your posts?
You can be honest. I don't think I was doing that. I might tag the film company, but I wasn't specifying names. I know some people swear by that. I feel like that's hounding people, and it's annoying after a while. But it also, when you come to think about it, it's important to do that. And maybe it benefits them also. It just gets their name out there in the ether, and they can benefit from being,
dude,
just in the conversation all the time.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you my opinion on it, and you're right that it is controversial. Like people kind of like fall down on one side of things or the other. By the way, shout out Leslie Chambers joining the show. It's the first time I think I've seen him in the chat, dude. What's up, Leslie? Leslie's videos got me into X Plus. It was his enthusiasm for the figures. I'm like, I gotta get one of these. And I got Kong, my first X Plus, so he'll be happy to hear that.
Nice.
I'm gonna tell you right off the bat that, in my opinion, I feel like there are too many badass artists out there.
Yeah.
And if one of them puts a tag on something, and if the director or the film studio, whatever it is, goes online, that's the one they're going to see first. And I feel like if you have a business that's a million things at once and you just need to find an artist to do something, well, one of them is going to stick out, And in my opinion, I feel like if you're, and I don't mean you as you, but like the general you, if you're a good person, if you work your ass off, if your work speaks for itself, I feel like you've earned the right to say, hey, look over here. And you're right. You don't want to be like going down your profile and tagging every post with @so-and-so. But I feel like, once in a while.
I do think you're right. And I think it's a fine balance.
Yes. Yeah, there's a balance.
Both of those mentalities. Like, don't be a pest.
Right.
But by all means, don't sell yourself short either.
It's rules for life, dude. Like, the funny thing is if I go backwards from where I was a couple of years ago, trying to get an official gig with anybody, and everybody's like, what the fuck is printmaking, to where, we are right now. I had to first it was my friend Brian Ewing getting me to stop being a wuss and get my ass to DesignerCon, so do a show outside of Florida. But after that, I just said, okay, I'm going to start walking up to people and handing them some of my artwork and say, hey, do you think this is cool? If so, do you want to work on something?
It's a great approach,
dude.
To be handed something for free, and it's awesome.
Right.
The work is great.
Thank you, man. And so what I'm saying is, I did that, and frankly, I went one step further, Joe. You're gonna I might be creepy. Okay, get ready for this story.
Yeah.
So the way I got the first Mondo gig, which blew everything up, really did, was when I started to get more traction online on Instagram, whatever it is. People would start like following me like more and more in a day. I would say, okay, who are all these people following? There's maybe somebody interesting here. You know what I mean? No offense to anybody else, but so one of the people who followed me one day worked at Mondo, a guy named Matt, and I go, oh shit. And so I reached out, started talking to him, and said, hey, thanks for adding me, man. I appreciate that. I love what you guys do. You guys are awesome. Big fan of your stuff. And go, oh man, big fan of your stuff. I'm like, well, let me send you some posters. And I got a tube, and I put like the last 20 posters I did in that tube. And I addressed it to the office. I said, dude, if you walk this into the office, you can take your pick of whatever you want and just let them see what's there. Because my work doesn't translate as well online as it does in person, So
absolutely, I could attest to that.
Right? And so that stuff arrived. They looked at it. They emailed. I started talking to them online a little bit. And Comic-Con was right around the corner. You know, they came to my booth, you know, and I flat out asked them, I'm like, they go, do you want to work on something? I'm like, well, I want to work on Godzilla, but no one has the license. Do you guys have the license? And they go, yep, we have the license. I was asking everybody at Comic-Con, dude, like the whole day, like or the whole week, hey, we should work together on something. I'm like, well, I'm kind of busy, but do you have the Toho license? Do you have the Toho license? Do you have the Toho license? Everyone's like, no. Mondo finally, yep, we have it. I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah.
And, you know, again.
You got super lucky. You got super lucky.
Right
place, right time.
I did.
And your work backs you up.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if you put in the fucking time and to get yourself to a level where your stuff is going viral, like your work is going viral, you know, I feel like you could just walk up and say, let's go. Not that you need advice from me. I hope that doesn't come across the wrong way. I'm just saying, like, for anybody listening, like, if you put in the time to do your thing, you know, don't be afraid. Let's everybody after this show, let's go to DOPEPOPE's page and everybody spam the comments tagging Adam Wingard, tagging Legend. Is that what you're saying for us to do, Joe?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was hoping you guys would do.
All right, well, dude, look, I don't want to keep you forever, but I do want to ask you some hard-hitting questions, especially while Leslie's in the chat. Hopefully he's still here. So Kong versus Godzilla is coming out. You're a big name in this kaiju community. Are you Team Kong or are you Team Godzilla?
I think it's pretty blatant what I am.
Well, I'm asking you.
Yeah, Team Godzilla all the way.
Okay.
But I'm not a hater. I don't hate Kong.
Of course not.
I love them. I think they both have their place in kaiju.
Of course. I was sitting on the fence, but the more trailers I see, the more I'm Team Kong, dude. I love the way they're doing Kong in this universe. I thought Skull Island was like a perfect movie.
I agree. They're doing him justice. I mean, it's refreshing to see him not be
a one and done
again.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, dude.
And doing the same old.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, I mean, but where he belongs in this kaiju, doing like MonsterVerse is hooking it up for at least just the visuals alone are worth the price of entry.
So good, man. Like I'm so excited for this film, and I think they're gonna nail it. Can Joe see me on the Skype? So you can switch it on Skype and make it so that he sees my camera on Skype. You can do it? Oh, you can't? All right, Joe. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold up a toy to the camera. You'll see it, you know, in like 10 seconds, but you'll know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to hold it up quick, and I want you to tell me something about this kaiju, okay? And then we're going to kind of like rank, you know, certain things, okay?
Yeah.
Because you're an expert, and people take what you say very seriously. And whatever you say is going to kind of be the law online for a little while. So, you know, enjoy that.
We'll see.
Okay, so right off the bat, Heisei Godzilla,
I have a delay here, so I don't see.
This is the 93 X Plus, the glitter Godzilla versus Ghidorah figure, right? So are you a Heisei Godzilla guy or a Showa Godzilla guy? I know you love it all.
Yeah, I do love it all. I mean, I think the Heisei designs are probably what I think of. See, I'm old.
How old are you?
The 68s, right around there is what, like, that's definitive Godzilla to me.
Same.
But I do love the Heisei suits probably a little bit more.
Interesting. Okay. Now, Gamera or Godzilla?
Wow, that's tough. I love Gamera, but Godzilla takes it.
What is the best kaiju film? There is a right answer.
Really answer that.
Yep.
I can't. As soon as I say one's awesome, then another one pops up, and then that one's awesome.
Let's say this. I mean, what's your favorite?
I do have a really soft spot for the obscure ones that were always on when I was a kid, like the X from Outer Space and Gappa and Yangari, who is not even Japanese. I love those movies. I love watching those movies. I don't know if they're the best ones, but they're the best ones. Like in my heart, I love those movies so much. But any Godzilla stands up to any of that. So.
Joe, you're flaking here. People people want a hard answer. Your favorite or the best kaiju movie. I'm not letting you off the hook. I'm gonna push back here a little bit. I'm gonna let you know that Gamera 2 is on the list. I'm gonna let you know that some people have said Pacific Rim is one of the greatest kaiju movies of all time.
I do love that movie.
Me too. I got shit on for saying that it's one of the best kaiju movies of all time on Kaiju Live.
Rampage was badass.
It's a very good movie.
Love that kaiju action in that.
Awesome.
So I'm just one of those people that whatever's kaiju, I love it. And
okay.
I can't tear it down.
No. We're not tearing anything down. We're choosing favorite children. Okay. So two kaiju that crawl on all fours. Giron or Anguirus?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Giron on this one.
That's the right answer. That's the right answer.
Always
give him applause. There you go. That's the right answer.
But who doesn't love Anguirus? So
I love Anguirus, but Giron is on another level. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, we got another one here. Hold on. This is gonna be controversial. Get ready. Okay. Here we go. We got Hedorah or Megalon.
Oh, Smog Monster can be.
That's right. Give him the applause. That's right. He's right. That's good. You did right. And that was tricky because there's a lot of hype right now. That new figure just dropped. But you're right. It's a Smog Monster all the way. Now.
I didn't know there was a right answer.
Yeah, there is a right. Every one of these questions has a right answer. So far, you're doing pretty good. All right. Now, King Caesar. Where do you put him in the pantheon of Godzilla Kaiju?
For me, pretty low.
I'm going to agree with you. It's the right answer. In fact, I would say really low.
I have been garnering some respect for the design lately.
Yeah.
But he was, when I was a kid, I couldn't, it wasn't doing it for me.
I was annoyed with him as a kid because I felt like he kind of shit the bed in that movie. You know, there's a lot of hype. They're singing him a song. They have a little statue. And where is he? He's hiding half the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. And there's a lot of people out there, Jeremy Soules from
that's a great figure, though. That's pretty cool.
Huh?
That's a great figure.
It's a great figure. It's a great figure. Jeremy Soules is a big fan of King Caesar, and I feel bad because I'm like, it's a great design, a beautiful figure, but we have to admit. He has
a great song, too.
He does. But he shit the bed.
And he's another king.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I'm going to give you... This is very difficult, okay?
Okay.
I'm holding in my hand the single greatest kaiju. And I'm going to give you a hint. It's not a Godzilla kaiju.
Ooh.
It's not even in the Gamera world. Okay, it's in the Ultraman world.
Oh, that's tough.
Okay.
There's so many of them.
I know. I'm going to tell you this is season 1 of Ultraman. It's not Ultra 7. It's not Ultra Q. So I'm narrowing it down for you. Who is the greatest kaiju of all time?
You're really stumping me because I didn't even see any of the Ultramans until a few years ago on Hulu.
That buzzer. That's not the right answer.
Oh, definitely not the right answer. So I don't know these monsters by name all that well. I'm sure I would know it if I saw it. And there's some really cool designs in the Ultra universe for sure, especially in the later ones where they get crazy. Those are beautiful. So, there's good ones.
Just look at the screen.
Right now, I don't see anything there. It's delayed.
There it is.
Oh, is it on your Skype screen, you mean?
No, on YouTube. This is Gango. Gango is the right answer. The single greatest kaiju design of all. The audience is agreeing with me, as you can hear.
Wow, they really are.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, no, that's... I see it now.
What do you think about this design? Gango in general. I think this design doesn't make any sense, and I can't believe it exists. And that's why I think it's my favorite. But what do you think about this? As a monster designer yourself, what do you think about this guy?
Well, being a monster designer, that takes absolute inspiration and influence from all these suit monsters.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I do think it's pretty cool. It's interesting and strange. But the more humanoid they are, the less I tend to like them.
Ah, interesting.
He seems like just a human being in a suit. So that makes it a little less interesting to me.
And he's a repurposed Bemular.
Yeah, exactly. They get repurposed,
which is the best
crazy
kaiju.
Colors on the front. It just screams, "Hey, look at me!"
I love it. It's like an X-ray on the front. It's so funny, dude. You did a great rendition. Speaking of obscure kaiju, of the Cloverfield monster, which I freaking think is such an underrated monster design and an underrated film. It's on your ArtStation. People can check it out towards the bottom of the page. But man, I think that might be because. To the credit of that film, they do a great job kind of obscuring the monster for most of the time, and you don't get hardcore looks at it. and getting to see it on your ArtStation is so cool, man. Like, and how did you pull all those references for that?
Well, I think the monster designer himself, I think Neville.
Yeah, Neville Page.
He had some ZBrush renderings of it on his site. They weren't really easy to find at the time when I did it, so I was excited to find an actual ZBrush artist who worked on the film, and it was amazing. So I just kind of copied what I saw, but then I tried to incorporate, like in the movie, you see the perspective of that creature is from the human's view. So everything is really forced. So it looks a lot bigger than it might be. You never really see it from, like, say, a Godzilla, like an old school Godzilla movie where, like, you're just looking at it straight on, and you get a sense of its size. These things, I have no idea how long the arms are, or how big the muscles are. It's just crazy. So I just did what I thought looked cool based on the forms that I saw. I know my version's a little bit different anatomically than than Neville's, obviously.
Yeah.
But it didn't bother me that I was going off and doing my own thing with it.
I love it.
Just like mine might be longer arms and more slender. Plus, the thing can move in strange ways.
Yeah.
And I sculpted it in a specific pose. Doesn't mean it can't be reposed into what it looked like.
It's beautiful, man. I love it. Pip, can you hit play on that? There you go. You're in my mind. Look at that. I love those turnarounds and those models from all the angles. So cool, man. I kind of just sometimes I just want to stop everything I'm doing and learn to do this. This looks like it's the most fun.
Oh yeah, it's a blast to watch something come alive in 3D. It's just really, really fun to do.
Don't you think this is an underrated film?
I love this movie. I ran to the movies to see it, and every time it's on, I didn't care for the sequels all that much, if you could even call them sequels.
Right.
But I am looking forward to what they're doing next, because I do feel like this sequel has to be on par with the first movie, and they know that now.
Did you like Super 8?
They think that. What's that?
Did you like Super 8?
Yeah, not as much as Cloverfield.
No, same. Yeah, I love it, dude. Joe, man, thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate taking the time. I could talk to you forever and just geek out about stuff, because your passions line up with some of the stuff that I do. If somebody wanted to learn and watch, or get a better idea of what you do, I know you do a lot of Instagram live stuff. I know you said you're going to keep doing some of that, but is that the best place to kind of see you behind the scenes and do what you do?
Yeah, so far I don't really have any tutorials or anything like that, and I was doing some live streaming for a while, but then things got hectic for me, so I couldn't keep that up. Yeah, but I do want to at some point maybe do like a station, a YouTube channel or a Twitch channel, and like just do a monster a week and show how I do it and have people watch along, ask questions. I do think that people would appreciate that.
Totally.
And if they wouldn't, then I guess I'll find out right away.
I think it would be amazing. In fact, can you do time-lapse replays from start to finish on ZBrush?
I think you absolutely can do them. I never do them though, because the way I work, I step away from my computer for long stretches, and then like I work on a few different jobs at a time. Yeah. I'll just flip through the jobs and do some, and then go to something else. And I don't know if ZBrush will keep up with that.
I wonder, because on Procreate you can.
Can't record an NDA job while I'm working.
Yeah, I feel like there's something there, man. There's something there, because I feel like even if you did a time lapse and then recorded your voice after talking about it or something, but if you guys would like to see something, because Joe and I were talking, before the show today about this, and I feel like, if you, I would love to watch that. I would love to just, you don't even have to talk, just put up. And it doesn't even be a full monster. Like, what if you just did, like, I don't know, part of it, like a snout or something like that. I don't know, whatever. It can be done in one sitting. Just to watch that kind of thing and have you talk about it a little bit, I feel like it would be just killer entertainment, and I bet a lot of people would agree. Before we get out, I want to talk about the NFT stuff you're doing. So we have a folder there on Drive that has some of Joe's recent NFT offerings. And for those of you who don't know, because I still barely understand it, can you talk a little bit first about what NFT is, and second, what you're doing with it?
Yeah, this is a deep dive into a lot of new jargon and concepts, and it's I only did it about a month ago, and I'm already in over my head with it.
Wow!
But I love it. Okay. Basically, an NFT is a non-fungible token, and then a fungible token would be like a dollar bill. Every dollar bill is the same. looks the same, and it has the same value. Well, a non-fungible token will be a piece of your art. Now, that piece of art is unique to its attributes and its value, so you can't reproduce that. So the tokenization of that piece of art is allowing digital artists to actually sell their art as an original. Like an oil painting is on a canvas, and that has value. But my art doesn't have an original in a physical sense. It's a digital file. So I can now assign a value to it as if it was an original piece of canvas, oil on canvas or such. That's the concept you have to grasp. And then when you tokenize it and the token sells as an original piece of art, then your name is attached to it on the blockchain. This has cryptocurrency, and your name is immortalized on the blockchain as the owner, as the creator. And then every time it sells, if the owner of that piece sells it in the future, because your name's on the contract, you make some royalties. Now that's the one thing that the art industry has kind of been lacking.
Interesting.
Many years, and the artists are getting screwed out of their what's deserved. So this is a really interesting new way of like keeping the artist in the loop and benefiting from their hard-earned work, you know. So I got involved with these, and I'm kind of using it as a way to explore my creativity, do new things that have nothing to do with licensed characters or fan art. It doesn't mean that I won't be in the realm of those things. Like everything I do has a sense of like monstrosity to it and darkness. I like to do dark themes, but explore them with vibrant colors. And I just, I'm inspired by all that stuff, and it's going to come out in original new forms. And in this new arena where I can NFT it and sell it, I'm using it as a showcase to produce new work, stuff that I've always wanted to do, but never felt like anybody would care to see it. Now I feel emboldened by this whole thing, and I'm eager to create new stuff purposely for this.
And what?
I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I totally get it. And it is complex, but essentially it's a way to create scarcity and make sure that you're rewarded for the growing value of your artwork as it continues to live on. Now, can you tell? Because my first question was, since you are primarily a digital artist, why you decided to work kind of like in a different style for the NFT launch stuff that you did versus the stuff that you're mostly known for? Like, what was the thinking behind that?
Right. So the pieces you were just showing, those are I actually sold them already. Those are the first pieces I created as NFTs, and what I did for them was I went back to my archives back before I was a 3D artist.
Oh.
3D artist. So these are my old classic pieces that some people might be familiar if they've known me for years. But if most people don't know that I even ever did that, right. which is why I went to those archives. I dug up pieces that I'm still proud of and still like, but I don't do work like that anymore. You wouldn't even know I was the artist that I was if I didn't post it. So that's why I felt kind of cool about that. I was like, look, these are my original pieces. I'm going to NFT them because I'm proud of them. I priced them, and then I put them up on OpenSea, which is one of these platforms that is selling the NFTs, creating the contracts, and then you get paid through them. So it's kind of like the ArtStation of the NFT world. Okay. So, and there's several of these sites, but OpenSea is just the one that I happened to go on first with these pieces, sold them, and now I'm ready to start creating new stuff. But at the same time, now that I know my old stuff is selling, I'll keep putting up that old stuff as well if there's an interest for it.
Now let me ask you this question: since it's one of one, basically, can you put up something that's like a fan art version of that new Godzilla Singular Point, or is that still the copyright still weigh in when it's NFT? Not that you would do it, but could you?
My guess is that you shouldn't. That's my feeling. You shouldn't do it. I don't own that character.
Got it.
There is an argument to be made that it's my work, 100% my work, and I'm not intending to say I own the character, just that I own the work. So there might be some leeway there in terms of doing it. I still feel like I have so much fan art that I would love to put up because I think people would love it. But at the same time, I'm not looking for lawsuits.
Right, of course. I feel like this is a perfect way, though, to try out what you were talking about before, like creating an original DOPEPOPE Kaiju monster design series, whatever, that feels, like the stuff you've been doing for these companies, but now it's only available as, NFT. And since your name stays on it, should it pass hands to a point where someone's like, I got to have this for whatever project, you're on it.
Yeah, it's exactly what the NFT allows for. Like you can take ownership and control of what you create, which is why I don't really want to. It kind of steps on the concept of putting up fan art and then standing by it as your own.
Right.
I'd rather, if I'm gonna fight that fight, I want it to be for something that I made 100% on my own. And if I do create my own line or my own monster or something like that, my own toy, it will absolutely be released as an NFT. There's really no other way to do it at this point.
I really think that would blow up, man, because that's always what I thought of when I saw your work. I'm like, man, of course you just want to get like a 3D printer and print these things out and have them, but you know, even for digital art, for the work that you create and post, how cool would it be to have those originals? You know what I mean? I think it's awesome, and you've definitely sold me on the idea, talking to you a couple times about, you know, and I'm excited for it. I think you are going to continue to crush it, especially if you are now taking the experience you have using the platform and the artwork that you've been so beloved for. So I think it's going to be a boon for you, dude. Thank you so much, man, for joining us tonight, and I hope to have you on again. The original plan was to have a couple of us, you know, hanging out together, and I still kind of want to do that at some point, because I would love to sit back and hear you guys talk a little bit, you know, and you and James we'll do something again, because I just feel like everybody loves you, everybody loves your work, and it's cool to get you in a room with those guys, at least virtually. I think it's a fun thing to do. But dude, yeah, do you want to plug anything else, talk about anything else before we head out?
Not yet. I have things brewing that I will reach out to you for.
Okay.
But I haven't gotten permission to talk about any of it yet. So you'll hear from me.
I love it. Okay, man. Thank you so much. And if you guys want to check out Joe's work, it's at DOPEPOPE on Instagram. I think you're on Twitter too, right, Joe?
Yeah, I'm everywhere.
On Twitter. Not on Facebook. You're not on Facebook. You're too good for Facebook. You already said that. So everybody here who operates primarily on Facebook, you heard Joe say he's better than you. Doesn't want anything to do with you. Okay, we're going to try to bring him back down. You know, Mr. NFT all of a sudden he's on a different planet, this Joe. But we're going to get... But yeah, he's at DOPEPOPE everywhere. He's the man. It's super inspirational. I've looked at your work tons of time for photo reference, for some of the Kaiju I've designed and worked on. And it's just an honor to have you, buddy. You're a great guy. You're super kind, and you're super influential. I can tell you this, when I was teaching, you know, for the last few years and showing, and kids wanted, you know, kids saw me doing Godzilla stuff. They want to do some Godzilla stuff, and they went looking for references. They're like, "Sir, have you seen this guy, DOPEPOPE?" I'm like, "Yes, I have, Scott." So you're feeding back into the loop of inspiring the youth. So that's awesome, man. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
All right, man. So we'll say goodbye to Joe here, and before we head out, yep, the audience, wonderful response. The kids love him. The kids love Joe. All right, we'll go to the solo cam here with and Gabby and I will just wrap up. Joe, I'll say bye to you later, man. Thank you so much again. All right, buddy. I'll see you later. And so that was awesome. Joe is so great. Such a nice dude. Such a pro. He's, you know, I mean, the work speaks for itself, really. Like, we could have been all day on his art stage, and I highly recommend you checking it out. And
incredibly talented.
Oh, the beast. And humble, man. So humble, dude. Like, I strongly encourage you to go. I'm sure you guys already know his stuff if you're here, but if you don't, you know, go check it out. And if you do know it, share it around. Do a good deed for Joe, being a great guy and joining us. You guys, next week we have a pretty crazy show. I'm going to talk a little bit more about it during the week, but next week we are going to have a really special guest that you may not know at first, but I'm giving you a hint. He's a very special person to me. And it's going to be awesome having him on. And we are going to have, I'm not going to say who it is yet, so mystery guest. But in honor of mystery guest, we're going to have a mystery print drop. So recently we did that.
Ooh.
We had our mystery print that ended up being an ox to celebrate the Lunar New Year, Year of the Ox. And it sold out on the show. It was awesome. I'm printing them now, so they'll be going out very, very soon. We have a mystery print drop again next week. And it's a special show for a lot of reasons. It's I don't want to say too much. I'll give everything away if I say anything else. But next week is going to be awesome. A live stream, Gabby and I, special mystery guest, and mystery print drop. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be fun. And we're going to have a good time trying out some special whiskeys too. So that's thematically involved. That's all I'll say. But thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys, everybody, for joining. Before we get off, I don't know. Let me see if everybody's. Did I see the Mignola documentary on Kickstarter? Hell yeah, John Price. That thing is bad ass. And if you don't know, I love Mike Mignola. Like, he's in my holy trinity of creative influences. I've unearthed a cassette tape. I've mentioned this before, of an interview I did with him when you were still using cassettes to record it. I plugged in my phone to a cassette recorder. I interviewed him for over an hour. And he talked to me. I was like 20 years old, and he just talked to me for over an hour. It was super nice of him. I was working for a magazine at the time that was not that well known, and he still agreed to do it. And this was at the height of the Hellboy movie fame, so he did not have to do that. He had plenty of opportunities. But I'm going to try to figure out how to put that on an MP3 or something and drop it so everybody can hear it.
There's a way.
Yeah. Let me see what else. You tease you, Darren. Yeah. Thanks, AJ. Appreciate it. Guys, go over to AJ's Kaiju Live Facebook group. Join his Discord. They're going to be watching the Pacific Rim anime that dropped today on Netflix on Discord. It's going to be awesome. He's having a great time over there on the community, watching stuff together. That Discord looks awesome. He was teaching me about it. Let's see. Everybody was talking great chat. Good interview. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, AJ. Hey, Chelsea. Thank you so much. Yeah, cheers, everybody. That was fun. We'll see you back here next week. Mystery guest, mystery print, a lot of fun. Daruma's still available. Go pre-order that thing if you haven't yet. And thank you, everybody who has. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Love you.